Most people think World War III will target major cities like New York, London, or Beijing. But that's only part of the truth. There are smaller, lesser-known cities, hidden in the shadows, that are even more dangerous when war begins. Cities loaded with military secrets, weapons, or geopolitical significance. In this video, we're diving deep into 10 rare cities you must escape immediately if World War III starts. Some are military hubs. Some are hotspots of regional tension. Others are time bombs waiting to explode. City number 10. Rzeszów, Poland. Rzeszów, a small city in southeastern Poland, might not look like much on a tourist map. With a population of just under 200,000, it's often overlooked compared to larger Polish cities like Warsaw or Kraków. But when it comes to global conflict, especially the kind that could ignite World War III, Rzeszów transforms from a quiet European town into a military nerve center. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Rzeszów has become a critical logistics hub for NATO. Nicknamed the Gateway to Ukraine, it sits just 90 kilometers, about 56 miles, from the Ukrainian border. Its airport, the Rzeszów Jasionka Airport, has quietly become one of the busiest military transit points in Europe. US forces operate from here. NATO planes deliver weapons, humanitarian aid, and surveillance equipment daily. In fact, Rzeszów is where the US Army set up a rapid deployment base to move troops and supplies directly into Ukraine. This isn't speculation. Satellite imagery and on-the-ground reports confirm military-grade cargo aircraft constantly landing and taking off. As tensions escalate between NATO and Russia, this city becomes a prime target. Not because of its civilian population, but because of its strategic role. If Russia were to attempt to disrupt Western support to Ukraine, or deliver a warning shot to NATO, Rzeszów would likely be among the first places hit. Even beyond its military logistics, Rzeszów is now home to intelligence operations, advanced drone deliveries, and real-time surveillance activities. There's also growing concern about cyber warfare attacks targeting its infrastructure. Poland has already seen waves of cyber incidents suspected to originate from Russian-linked actors. If World War III starts and spills into Eastern Europe, Rzeszów will be one of the most dangerous cities to live in. Not because of its size, but because of its proximity to the fire and its role in fueling it. In a full-scale global conflict, the quiet streets of Rzeszów could become the front line of a much bigger war. City number 8. Haifa, Israel. Haifa is Israel's third largest city, sitting quietly on the Mediterranean coast. But don't let the calm waves fool you. Haifa is one of the most dangerous places to be if a world war breaks out in the Middle East. Why? Because Haifa is Israel's naval command center and its industrial heart. It houses the main base of the Israeli Navy, chemical refineries, high-tech weapon manufacturers, and secretive intelligence facilities. Tensions between Israel and Iran are already boiling. But Haifa's location, close to Lebanon and Syria, makes it highly exposed to missile attacks from Hezbollah, one of Iran's most powerful proxies. In 2006, over 4,000 rockets were fired into northern Israel. Many of them hit Haifa. Now imagine a modern version of that scenario, in World War III. The scale of destruction would be catastrophic, especially if chemical plants or ammonia tanks are hit. Some analysts warn that an explosion in Haifa's storage facilities could release a toxic gas cloud that could kill thousands instantly. Even with the Iron Dome system, the city is not invincible. If overwhelmed by a saturation missile attack, critical infrastructure would collapse: power, transport, water. The steep terrain and dense neighborhoods mean evacuation would be chaotic, if not impossible. And don't forget, Israel holds undeclared nuclear capabilities. If Iran or another adversary feels threatened by that, Haifa's naval base could be hit preemptively in a nuclear or hypersonic strike. Haifa may not be the capital, but it holds the keys to Israel's military and economic pulse. And if the Middle East gets pulled into a global war, Haifa could be the city that gets hit first and hardest. City number 7. Guam, US territory. Guam is a tropical island paradise, but it's also one of the first targets if the US goes to war with China or North Korea. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, Guam is a US territory with no statehood, but it holds one of the most strategic military positions in the world. Andersen Air Force Base and Naval Base Guam are both equipped with nuclear-capable bombers, submarines, THAAD anti-missile systems, and surveillance aircraft. To Beijing, Guam is the unsinkable aircraft carrier of the US. It's a launchpad for American operations in the South China Sea, Taiwan, and the Korean Peninsula. That makes it a first strike target in any WW3 scenario. China has already built DF-26 Guam killer missiles, specifically designed to hit the island from over 3,000 miles away. North Korea has also threatened Guam in 2017, planning missile trajectories that would fly over Japan. The danger is simple. Guam is small, just 30 miles long. If one missile hits the center, the entire island suffers. Civilian evacuation is virtually impossible. There are no roads leading out, no neighboring countries to flee to, just open ocean and inbound missiles. Even with America's powerful defenses, analysts say a coordinated hypersonic missile attack could overwhelm Guam's systems in minutes, rendering airfields and bases useless. During peacetime, Guam is a remote vacation spot. But in global war, it becomes a trap, isolated, surrounded by ocean, and in the crosshairs of the world's most powerful militaries. City number 6. Kaliningrad, Russia. Kaliningrad is one of the strangest and most dangerous places in Europe, a Russian city that doesn't actually touch Russia. It's an exclave, completely separated from mainland Russia, sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania. This tiny territory on the Baltic Sea is heavily fortified, and at the center of Cold War-style tensions between NATO and Moscow. Here's what makes Kaliningrad terrifying during a global conflict. It's packed with Iskander missile systems, some capable of carrying nuclear warheads. The city also hosts Russia's Baltic Fleet, advanced radar systems, electronic warfare gear, and underground bunkers built during the Soviet era. It's not just defensive, it's offensive. From Kaliningrad, Russia can strike Berlin, Warsaw, or Stockholm in minutes. It also serves as a surveillance hub to monitor all NATO activity in Eastern Europe. The West knows this, and it has already responded. NATO troops have increased presence in Lithuania and Poland, turning Kaliningrad into a military pressure cooker. One wrong move, and this city becomes the first battlefield of World War III. But Kaliningrad's isolation also makes it vulnerable. In a full-scale war, NATO might try to cut it off entirely, creating a siege scenario. Russia would likely retaliate with force, and that could include tactical nukes. Civilian life here is uneasy. Air raid drills are common, and during major Russian exercises like Zapad, residents have reported the deployment of thousands of troops and armored vehicles on the streets. If you live in Kaliningrad during WW3, you're in a trap. The borders are closed, NATO surrounds you, and the world's most powerful weapons are sitting right outside your apartment window. It's not a matter of if Kaliningrad is targeted, it's when. We've just uncovered 5 of the world's most dangerous cities if World War III breaks out, and trust me, the next ones are even more shocking. But to keep this video focused and powerful, we're stopping here for now. Stay tuned for part 2, where we reveal the final 4 cities that could become the first to fall when the world goes to war. If you found this eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss part 2. And let us know in the comments, which city shocked you the most? This isn't just a video, it's a warning.